Hello, chat. Oh. Ooh. It's really loud in my headset, man. I gotta fix it a little bit. With a bit of fixing. There we go. Hi, chat. How are we doing today? Hi, Izzy. I see you there. How are you? I gotta fix my camera a bit. Alrighty, chat. Today, it's gonna be an interesting day. I need to make sure everything's alright. I just started cleaning for college. Thank you, Mr. Oldie. Hello. I started cleaning for college, so my room's a little bit of a mess. And I just realized that some of my stuff is a little messy on here. So we gotta do some good old fixing here, because this is wrong. I counted wrong yesterday because I'm good at counting. Because I'm so good at counting. Alright, there we go. There we go. Mods go stupid crazy. Alright, ready? Yeah, chat today, is a different kind of day. I haven't done this kind of stream since I started streaming, I believe. Oliver just woke up to that. 1 second. Alright, we're good now. So, today is a different kind of day. I have not done this since I started streaming. I did this like, oh my gosh, when did I do this kind of stream? I did it a very long time ago. It was like an hour or 2 hour stream. And I read, I can't reach it. I read this book on stream. I read some of it, not the entire book. I cannot read that fast. No, but I read like a chapter in the book of like classic fantasy stories and all that. Yes, book stream. I've wanted to do this for so long. But I'm partaking in a reading challenge this week. And one of the challenges in the reading challenge is to read a book with someone that you've always wanted to read a book with. So like basically buddy reading. But I've always wanted to do a reading stream and have chat kind of there with me to read. And the first time I did it, it was awful experience. Nobody was there, and I was by myself reading myself, and I was like, oh wait, this is kind of normal. But it was just really awkward. And hello, Cloudy, welcome. So today we have the fun time of reading a really dumb book that, yes, I've already read, but it's really stupid and dumb, and I want to read it with you guys and share my opinions and reactions with it because it's really stupid. Dumb streams, but that's fine. What else can you do when you're leaving soon? And yeah, one way to entertain myself. What are you looking for? Oh. 1 second. Just kidding, we're back, chat. Ooh, there goes on the music. And we are good now. Just trying to fix the music, make sure it's not too loud, too quiet. You know the drill. But yeah, so I've wanted this for a very long time. So, of course, had to pick a dumb book because I want to be dumb and wheeze on stream. So, today, chat, as a gang, Together we are reading the book Stones to Abbigale. It's very dumb, and I love it dearly. But, I love that it's stupid, but I hate this, like, I hate the book, and I hate the person who wrote it, so, you know what I mean. But yeah, hello Ace, welcome, welcome. Okay, so, I need to get started because I need to finish this book in one stream, or else I'm kind of screwed, because it's a long book, and we're gonna read slowish, fastish. But yeah, this stream is not ending until I finish this, so, fun times. But yeah, why is this being a butt? Okay, I think to make sure my stats were okay and all that. But yeah, so, yeah, long story short, this book is written by Onision, and, if you don't know who Onision is, I'm glad, and if you know who Onision is, I'm very sorry, because, he's terrible. So anyways, I bought these books a while back because I have all 3 of them that he wrote, but I bought them from, like, separate sellers because I was like, I'm not paying you to get these books, so, sorry. But yeah, so, fun times, you get to see the cover, chat. It's real edgy, really cool. To see the back, real edgy, real cool, chat. But yeah, this is a very interactive time today, so, we vibing, we thriving. I want to start with, my favorite part of this. So, the best part about this is, me and Jellykate actually started reading this book one time together. And I finished it and she finished it separately. But we started reading it and annotating it, and it was super funny because we both made bookmarks to go along with it. So this is my bookmark because it's really dumb and stupid. It's not gonna focus, but I don't really care. Oh, there it goes. It's a really dumb and stupid bookmark, because we call him Onion Boy and we hate him. So I made a Heather's Vibe bookmark of it. Yeah, and then Jelly signed it and said, in the credits that he wrote from the author, she wrote below everything, "No thanks for ripping my head apart." It makes me laugh quite dearly. So, yeah. So yeah, long story short, we're gonna get started. Weird stream, I know, but I hope you all enjoy this very much because I think it's hilarious. But, chat, you're gonna be my reading buddies today, and we're gonna have a good time. And it's gonna be stupid, and it's gonna be fun and hilarious. But I'm very excited. So, let us get started delving into a book. The alien one. No, it's not the alien one. This is the one, with, like, the one guy and the girl, and there's, like, a whole bunch of different stuff that goes on. There's, like, ooh. Some parts I may have to actually skip reading on stream because they are TOS, I believe. That, or they are just really weird. So, yeah, you know what I mean. You already know what I mean. Alright, and if you can find this on the internet, chat, feel free to read along with me, but I don't know where it is on the internet, so oops. So yeah, we're gonna start with the first page in the book. We're gonna go all the way through it. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna make commentary about it, and we're gonna wheeze together, chat. We're gonna pog through the pain pretty much today. But yeah, before I start, should I change the music to something like really dramatic and stupid? Or should I just make it really funny music the whole time while I'm reading? Because I think it'd be funny like that. How do I read again? Honestly, I don't know. How does one read? Hydrates. I see all the hydrates. We gotta hydrate before we start. I've got hydration stuff before I start. I'm putting this over here. There you go.
Did you get a whopper?
No. 2015 Night Course. Oh my god. Can I play Nightcore on stream? That's the real question. Can I play Nightcore on stream? I want to know. Can you play really dumb Nightcores on stream, chat? I'll look it up really quick before we start because I want to... Because I do actually want to put this on YouTube. Okay. No, I can't play Nightcore. Of course I can't. That's alright. Oh, what happened to my head? Yeah, funny story, guys. Oliver decided to, run across my face this morning. So, on YouTube I think it's fine as long as you credit it. Is it okay on Twitch, though? That's my problem. Can I play it on Twitch? Because if I play it on Twitch and the VOD doesn't play back, then I'll be mad. So, I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah, funny story. Oliver decided to run across my face this morning, so I did not run into a door frame. I did not run into a door frame. My cat decided to run across my head. So there you go, chat. Funny story. My goodness. But yeah, yeah, Twitch not Pog. I know. No, I didn't. I really didn't. Oliver decided to quite literally run across my face this morning, and it was painful. Alright, here we go, chat. It's time to read Stones to Abbigale together. And I'm very excited that you're joining me on this journey of this terrible novel. The truth, honestly, more believable.
Did you get a whopper?
Oh my gosh, this is gonna make this book so great to read. Alright, here we go, chat. So this is from the author. Also, I will be looking through chat and reading and vibing with you guys this whole time. Alright, so from the author, he says, I want to be direct. My name is Greg. I go by Onision online. The book is made up of events that occurred in my own life, mixed with fiction from the made-up life of James. Okay. James is essentially a better version of myself. I'm gonna be honest already, he's not. Before we start, I like to cleanse us all with holy thoughts and prayers, because God knows we're gonna need it. Honestly, yes, it is. And I promise I'm not reading it backwards, it just looks backwards because the camera's flipped. Yes. His home, his school, and his life all resemble my own at his age. The people James analyses, the books don't start from that side. I promise it's the right way. See? It goes this way. I can't unflip the camera. You can't unflip a camera. I'm reading it the right way. I promise I'm reading it the right way, chat. I'm reading it the right way, chat. Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. Alright, here we go. The people James analyzes and is surrounded by are not so unlike those I've known as well. I have experienced much of the loss James has. However, this happiness moments are more often than not also mine. Also, I will be reading every single grammatical mistake I find because it makes the book stupider. I want to share my story without it being purely a non-fiction. I simply felt this approach would make for a far better book. At points I cried while writing this, at others I laughed. Stones to Abbigale is not just a book I wrote, it is a piece of who I am. Special thanks. Thank you, Jack Manifold. Special thanks to Lainey. Thank you for editing the first draft. Erica, thank you for pointing out 2 word errors. There's more than 2 word errors. I will tell you that now. Good morning, Vault Tech calling. I shall be doing that during the book, just saying thank you. Honestly, thank you. I took off the limit, I believe, so. Alright, chat. We already made it to chapter 1. Are you ready? I'll pull my chair forward a little bit. I really hope new people join this stream just to join my channel to be doing this. Sign this paper or die. Oh no. If there is a limit, I will go and change it for you, alright? I think there's only like a minute, like, cooldown limit. Alright, chat, here we go. I was asleep until I met her. When I finally woke, I learned the meaning of perfect imperfection. I've always been the type of person to focus on stars as we spin beneath them, the cool breeze on a sunny day, scattered patches of grass under my feet, the world around me, often forgetting to even glance at the one within. I had remained emotionally unexplored for so much of my life. It's painful knowing some can go an entire lifetime without understanding their own heart, an internal lock waiting for the right key to change everything. I hate this already. I really do hate this. And hydrate. I just saw that. Yeah, you kind of have to be awake to meet more people. This book is just so weird. It was the first Monday of November. I opened my eyes, blinded by my recently painted wall-to-wall white room. Even my bed frame, constructed of purely metal, was painted white. I need to change the music. I'm gonna look up edgy instrumental music. How do I look up, eerie instrumental? I'm gonna look up an eerie yeah, who has a white bed frame? That's the first question. We're gonna look up really eerie, dumb music. Dark fantasy music. Dark and mysterious ambient music. There's D&D ambience. That's not D&D. I have you reading this book while watching a TV series on my second monitor that has already made me break down many times because the power couple broke up. No! This is a intriguing time. That is depressing, but I don't know. You guys have wood. Yeah, my bed frame's wood. And I don't have I mean, I guess you can have what I guess you can have like white bed frames. That would make sense. I've just never heard of like white metal. Wait. I know what white metal is. Never mind. I'm really dumb. Yep. I don't want to talk about it. Here we go, chat. Anyways, yeah, we're not gonna talk about it. I put on really dumb music, so it's fine. Okay, ready for this, chat? Alright. Oh, where am I at now? It bounced off the walls, causing my eyelids to desperately clamp together. Painting my room like this was a clear act of subtle self-inflicted psychological torture. I was going through another phase, from darkness to light, and repeat seemed like the story of my life. What? Yeah. No bed frame, just putting it flat on the floor, yep. That's one way to do it too. Alright. My mom could see the darker colors were depressing me. I felt comforted by them, but found there were good aspects to both extremes. I was happy to visit either side. They are both so simple, but right now the intense light bouncing up from wall to wall felt like it was ripping my mind in two. Story of my life from One Direction starts playing. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Alright, my mom didn't make... I can't grammar today. My mom didn't wake me. My alarm clock sat on my dresser with no explanation for its failure to function.
Did you get a whopper?
No, I didn't get a Whopper. I hope you can hear the music while chat. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can actually hear it well or not, but I really hope you can, because it's really funny. How? Excuse me. That was nasty. Continuing. This is, guys, chat, this is kind of getting sus. Kind of suspicious. Imposter. I need to stop. Okay. I'm not gonna fall asleep. No, we're not. No, I'm not gonna fall asleep. I'll be fine. Alright, the clock only illuminated a blank stare with 8:17 written all over its face. While entirely robotic, I imagined the clock to have the dumbest possible expression when contemplating its failure to behave any way outside its random glitch-infested nature. No, I would never do a sleep stream. I'll say that solidly now. No, never in my life. I know it's a joke, but God, no. That sounds amazing, Enola. Do your task well. I assume in a video game. Alright, I laughed in my casual, dorky tone and began to get ready to leave home. Without breakfast, I left for school. You're trying to trick shot into the barrel? I don't know. Without breakfast, I left for school with a bogus note in hand to idealistically explain my tardiness. I think most of my teachers were too exhausted to worry about small variances in our appearance from time to time. With how low their pay likely was, I imagined there were very few rules most teachers cared about. It was another cold day in Lakewood. The wind hit my eyes, forcing tears to form in the corners as I sped along the sidewalk at a no doubt unreasonable speed. Can you give me a pass? What? Can you give me a pass? We're going back to high school here, chat. Which many of you still may be in school. So, I passed Lauren and Raymond walking the opposite direction, no doubt headed toward the nearby church where all the students go to smoke, make out, and hide out till school ends. They seemed so childish as they held hands and smiled excitedly, as if they had gotten away with some tremendous crime. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Chat, it is so dumb. He's just like, oh, I hate everything. And Mr. Hanson, my heavyset middle-aged history teacher, rolled his eyes as I walked into class. James, talk to me after class, he said quickly, looking away from me as if I were an undervalued employee. School isn't this bitch learning stuff. Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing, though. He's like, this character relates so much to me and is basically me but better. So he just goes back like 20 years in time and he's like, now I'm a better person. I'm just like, what? I'm just like, that's not, no, that's, I'm just like, that's not how it works, bud. But, okay. Alright. Looking away from me as if I were an undervalued employee who was barely important enough to make eye contact with, let alone deliver a full sentence to.
Did you get a whopper?
I have a note, I said. He ignored me and continued his lecture on yet another topic that would not only be completely useless later in life. I'm gonna throw that into I'm gonna throw it into here whenever I'm lost. Honestly, that's fair. This book jumps plot points so much, so I'll say that solidly. It just jumps plot points and nobody knows what's ever happening, so it's fine. It's fine. Where did I lost my spot. It's fine. But wasn't even relevant for even a few seconds after the words left his mouth. There was only 15 minutes left in class, but I felt it would be more stimulating to integrate myself into the room to yet again study my classmates' behavior than to sit in a hall watching the rows of scum-covered tiles inevitably slide off the decaying wall. Here's the problem, though. He's just like, ugh, I was late to class. It's just weird. I was late to class. I guess instead of like listening to my history teacher teach me stuff that, yeah, probably not useful, but kind of useful, I'll just watch them and stalk my classmates and see how they act. Good day in high school, in Lakewood High School. Am I right, chat? Am I right or am I just weird? For as long as I remember, I've enjoyed seeing how people move around and talk to each other like they're all animals at the zoo. I hate this part. It is so much. It's just so weird. It's so weird. I'm gonna get some chocolate. Yeah, honestly, that's how I feel about him. I'm just like, what? I'm like, please no. This is weird, man. I'm just like, why would you write a book saying like, oh, this character relates to me so much, and then proceed to say that the character just basically stalks people? I'm just like, oh, chocolate orange. The first time I had a chocolate orange, it was honestly amazing. It was so good. All right. I would try to deliver a more accurate analogy if I felt there was one, but so many of them just seem incredibly unaware of themselves, just living lives for some generic, predefined routine. Sometimes I feel like an alien who had a VIP pass to submerge myself in primitive human culture just for entertainment. Oh, jeez. It is a book. It's, Yeah, Sir Please Therapy. The thing is, too, though, he is, like, in real life, whether book or not, he genuinely is a psychopath, so... Oopie. Anyways, I sense everything I can take in around me. The seemingly limitless audible tones, tremors, and the voice of growing children rang in my ears. I never noticed he said growing children, like the voices of the children. He's a child himself if he's, like, in high school in this book. Is he not? Like, if he's in high school in this book, he's a child. He said it himself. I just remembered his kombucha stunt. Please, no. No. Continuing. Again, we're reading this for fun. We're not reading this to, like, bond over how great the book is. We're reading this to bond over how much we hate this being and how much this book makes us wheeze because it's so bad that it's kind of good. It's good that it's bad. That's why I enjoy it. Other than that, I hate this so much. But anyways. I'm in studying people. I found myself gradually learning to literally feel the various personality types I've encountered. I hyperanalyzed every inconsistent smell, the seemingly random clothing style, freckles, and assorted hairstyles filled my mind with questions, trying to rationalize and understand what sequence of events led them to decide who they would become. I took favor of categorizing most everyone around me The socially inept know-it-all, the dumb attention-seeking drama kid, and the bleach blonde bimbo who gets overly defensive at the slightest hint of criticism. Then there were the kids who just hoped no one would notice them at all. There's so much to be considered and organized in my head. The power couple's back together in there? Okay, that's amazing. I'm glad the power couple's back together in your book. The couples in this book are terrible, so I'm glad your stuff is going well. Honestly. Alright, I should probably put it up here to look like I'm actually reading more. This music kind of sucks to listen to. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly. It's just weird, man. I need to find better music because this sucks. We're gonna play Nintendo music. This is better. This is better to read too. Alright. Alrighty. Where am I at? I lose my place so easily. So, 1 second while I try not to lose my place. Bob the Builder we can fix it. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's intriguing, but it's fine. We're making a joke out of this because we acknowledge as a chat this is terrible. So that's all that matters. That's all that matters, chat, okay? Alright. Where am I at? Okay. Class had ended, so I walked over to Mr. Hansen's desk and placed the tardy note down in passing. As I walked out with the rest of my class, he called after me, "James, we still need to talk." I responded but continued to walk outside the room. "I have to be early to my next class. Let's talk tomorrow." Yeah, honestly, this book is awful. But it's fine, because we're bonding, chat. We're reading together. I'm completing a challenge in my reading challenge, while still bonding with you, chat. I walked quickly down the hall towards my art class, which was awkwardly placed in a trailer outside my clearly poorly funded high school. On my way to the class, a fight had already broken out between two jocks, who, no doubt, both had controlling, iron-fisted fathers who brainwashed them to believe in conflicts between men, the best result with whoppers. Yep. These kind of men plagued my mind with wonder. I could not conceive a scenario in which they could justify their primitive and pointless mentalities, yet they would always continue to perpetuate their self-destructive attitudes if it offered the slightest legitimate benefit. Be like that. It be like that, you know? It'd be like that. Did you get a Whopper? No, I did not get a Whopper still. Though right now, I kind of want one. Just because it's like, it'll distract my mind. Most everyone nearby crowded around the fight. None of them likely cared who was winning, what it was about, or how far it went. It do be like that. Yep, basically. Alrighty. Where's it at? I lost my spot. All they ever seemed to show concern was for their own amusement, always excited to see violence without having to pull out their wallets to pay for it. Whoa. As the sounds of flesh collided. I don't want to read that part. That part's weird. He's talking about them fighting, but basically, we get it. He's talking about fighting. I'm skipping some parts reading because I don't want to read them out loud. I also just don't want to read them in general, but it's fine. It's fine. Reading improves your vocabulary. It does, doesn't it? Alright, anyway, so they're fighting, yada yada. They would scream, ooh, as if it was just sincerely delightful to fight. This book is so weird. I forgot about how weird this book was, and the best part about it is I'm just listening to Nintendo in the background. I am glad. Oh, I got excited. Is that about your TV show or the book? Reading melts your tiny brain, even though it's already melting. It be like that. It do be like that. Alright, even if I had time to stop, I never... Oh. Continuing. He talks about how he doesn't really like to see people fight because it's weird. And he's like, I know you can say it's more complicated than that. I really think if this were weird, but reality trumps the way I wish things would be. There's no sense in fighting it when doing so really helps anybody. That is a solid point. No, like, saying that, like, fighting isn't always the answer. It's kind of vibe. Like, that makes sense. A good point he's made. Probably the only good point we'll find in this book. As I approached my next class, the The image of Abby's face illuminated the neon walls of my mind like a projector, teasing a theater screen with fleeting moments of depth and purpose. Heads up. Nullaport being a Nullaport the movie? Yes. Yes. Here's the thing. So he has this big crush on this girl, and it's just really whack, and it's kind of weird, and I'm like, why are you like this? He just has this huge crush on this girl, and it's like, please stop. Get out of here. Hello? My door made a noise. Yeah, he has this big crush on this girl, where he's just like, oh, ever since I met her, she's occupied a part of my consciousness. It's... Whenever I wasn't near her, I missed her to an unrealistic extent. This girl doesn't know him, as a heads up. That may make it even more like, excuse me? But they don't know each other. They don't know each other. At least not yet, I don't remember. I don't think they know each other yet. But yeah, I've read this book already, so it's more of a, this is my analysis fully of the book while also reading it to you. Yeah. You could call my longing sad, especially considering we have barely talked. There it is. There are people in life which we pass on a daily basis, barely aware of their existence, but only on an exceptionally rare occasion you can find a person who fills an area inside your little world you didn't even realize needed filling. See, that part I kind of get. It's kind of like you meet somebody and it's an amazing feeling, but they don't know each other, and he's like, I'm madly in love with her and I want her to like occupy my mind at all times a day. I'm just like, that's weird, man. That's kind of weird. You shouldn't do that. Like, buddy, like, don't do that. VI people are poggers, and I'm poggers. It only makes sense. Fair. That is a fair point. Right. As I walked up the creaking stairs into my art class trailer, I could see Abby was sitting at her shared desk alone. Same makeup, hairstyle, and general appearance I had thought about repeatedly over the last couple days. No. She was drawing pictures on her blue-lined paper, distracting herself from the cold that filled the oddly glowing room. For cheap price of 80k Kirby cash, you too can get the role of VIP and join the elite Pogs and Boats community. The elite Pogs? Is that what you're called now? The elite Pogs? Which reminds me, I need to make sub thingies. I need to make sub thingies. You know what I mean, right? The sub. What are they called? The sub emotes? Yes, sub emotes. Or sub badges. Badges! That's what they are. I do have 80k. I have more than 80k. I have unlimited, so. Because I own the account. Alright, I need to come back up here. I'm never gonna get through this book, okay? Donate 80k to me. Here. When we hit 69 subs, I'll consider it. Okay? If you can get me to 69 subs, I'll consider it. I set it higher because I don't have a sub goal, so I was like, meh. I just set it for it. Can I have a small loan of 1 million Kirby cash? No! No! Chat, you're using me with my power. Let me just read my book, chat. Chat, let me read my book to you. It's a good book. It's such a great book. You're getting a tattoo. That's very exciting. Yeah, no, I'm kidding about subs. The real question is, why do I have 40 subs? But also, thank you for 40 subs. Do I know? Oh, wait, I may know, actually. Oh, wait, yeah, I did know that. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, I know you told me. Yeah, I'm a little dumb sometimes, okay? I'm a little stupid sometimes. I'm a little stupid sometimes. Alright, we need to continue because I am only on page 6 and we are already 30 minutes in the stream. I have so much to read to you still. And welcome back, Izzy. Alrighty. I'm gonna be skipping some parts because I'm like, Alright, I smiled slightly, trying not to be too obvious, and sat down on my chilled metal chair, positioned a few seats to the left in front of her. Glancing over, I could see she hadn't moved at all. I feel like she didn't even notice me coming. Probably 'cause you're weird. Can I get some Kirby Cash blessings? Oh my gosh, wait. Can we stop for a second actually and get a motivational minute in here?
Did you get a whopper?
Wait, chat, wait. I can't spin. It's a song. It's the shift dance. Anyways, shift dance. If you guys don't know what that is, then you're not cool. If you don't know what the shift dance is, then you're not cool anymore. I'm kidding, but... It's Foolish Gamer Shift Dance, just so you know, chat. What is this song, by the way? It's Fever, Super Smash Bros. Very cool. Alright, we're gonna do a motivational minute, though. Really quick. Because, Neptune needs some motivation. I got moderator for free. You also applied for moderator. I'm a daily customer. Alright, here we go, chat. Here, you get to hear a Hershey's ad while I'm doing this really quick. You can hear in a Hershey's ad while I do this, chat. You can hear another ad while I do this, chat. Why is this? Why? Wait. There you go. Oh my goodness. I'll do the motivational minute. Don't worry about it. I'm doing the motivational minute. 1 second. Is it that? Where's it at? Here we go. I found the motivational minute. Here we go. Oh no! I guess I have to do a motivational minute for Neptune. Okay, here we go. This is not motivational at all. I need something more like... Here we go. This is motivational. Alright, chat. Ready for this, chat? You know, the world gets tough out there, chat. Some days it's hard. Sometimes it gets crazy. Sometimes it's scary. But you know what? Everything gets better, chat. And we get whoppers. We get whoppers. And that's why we keep going in life, chat. You are all amazing and beautiful people. You are all fantastic. And Neptune, I know you needed this right now the most. Because wait. I lost the chat. You're talking about Genshin. I saw you talk about Genshin. But you're good at Genshin. You're great at Genshin. Everybody's great at Genshin except for me. I don't know how to play Genshin. I wish I knew how to play Genshin. But anyways. You are going to do great things for this world, chat. You are going to vibe. You are going to thrive. You are going to survive in this fish pond of a world. You, as a small fish in my pond, will strive and shine above the all. You are bright, shiny stars, and I love you dearly. I believe in you. The world believes in you. You don't need water to survive because you're that amazing. Thank you. Continuing now, we're gonna get back to reading a really stupid book again because that's what we do. Let Mr. Holy vouch for me to have VIP. I don't know. Perhaps. Write me an essay and explain why you deserve VIP, and I'll consider it. Alrighty. Continuing back into our reading, because I have a lot to read to you, chat, and we're not getting very far. However many words you believe that can convince me. I'm not reading this part right here, basically, because it's just really weirdly worded, and I'm not really up for it. You have to write in the style of Stones to Abbigale. No. No. You would not like to do that, and I would not like to do that. It's terrible. 500 plus word essay? Oh my god! Okay, continuing. Basically, I'm gonna skip a lot of parts because they're really weird. But, he goes to, like, try to say hi to her, and then he, like, touches gum on her desk, and it's really weird. And, then they start talking about the fight again, so... points is nothing. Yeah, I feel that. Yep. That's how it be sometimes. Alright, here we go. So, they get back from the fight and they're like, haha, this person's stupid. So he says, I look back at Abby to see, but she also didn't react to their outburst. Strangely, knowing that her apathy was generalized and impersonal gave me comfort. Her influence on how I felt was obviously dangerous, but I didn't care, as no matter how fond I was of the idea that I was not of the world, I knew my place had no real interest in pretending otherwise. He's still being weird. Look at Twitch DMs. I will look at them once I am done with this, because I'm on the grind to finish this. And we are like 2 pages in. Oh wait, it's right here. Thank you, Anola. Very cool. Alright. Jason, one of the boys energetically praising the fight they had just seen, sat in a seat next to Abby. I smirked, watching her shoulders shift away from them. Her body language shed on the message that gave out the same impression. Long story short, is it good enough? I don't know. I'll have to consider that. We'll write fanfics for Kirby Cat. Oh my goodness. Chat. Alright. How do I start a prediction? Can I start a prediction? This is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna start a prediction. Oh, start a prediction. We're doing something really quick, and then we're gonna keep going. Oh, I screwed up. Oop, oop, oop. Better be, should be VIP. It's something different. Forgive me. Alright. Alright, will I finish the book today? Alright. Alright, chat. We're gonna give this like 10 minutes. Alright, here we go, chat. We are starting prediction. Alright. It is prediction time, chat. The prediction is a big question to ask today. Because you guys want channel points so bad, so here's your way to win them. Alright, chat. I'm gonna continue reading while we sit here. How dare I? There you go, chat. There's your fun game today. Will I actually finish the book? Alright. So long story short, they talk about how, like, there's this weird dude. I know it sounds morbid and condescending, but my attitude was just something that naturally developed the more I studied human behavior. I would be more optimistic, but I find doing so would be like walking into a room with no windows and turning out the light. If you refuse to see the world around you for what it is, you're just wasting your eyes. Have you ever just wasted your eyes, chat? You ever just wasted your eyes? Alright. Ooh, guys, it's my pea jar I drew. Look. I drew a pea jar in the book. I don't remember why, but I guess we'll find out in a second why. Wow, chat, you have no faith in me. I see you. I see you all picking no. You have no faith in me, chat. The 2 million points. I want VIP, so if I win the prediction, can I have VIP? We'll see. We'll see. One person with the 2 billion? I hope nobody has 2 million. I think somebody has 2K, and that's why. Alright. Our class was about to begin. My teacher, Mrs. Stanley, who looked like she should have retired a ridiculous 30 years ago, approached the front of the room talking about how art is sacred. She also discussed the random objects she had us all draw the previous school day, and ironically graded it by using her own narrow-minded definition of art. I always wondered how teachers could even attempt that. That's even half my points, though. It'd be like that sometimes. I always wondered how teachers could even attempt objectively grading art. Is there any logic behind validating a form of self-expression using a cold black and white mathematical system? I agree with that. I generally agree with that, though, because art is something that's very biased for art teachers to grade, unless you're actually looking at, like, anatomy and, like, the functions of art, and not just, like, oh, it's okay kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Alright. Today I'm going to place you with partners, Mrs. Stanley said as she pulled out sheets of paper outlining our activities to come. To keep this simple, I'm going to partner you with the person you are currently assigned to share a desk with. I sighed, knowing I was bound to be paired up with Alex, a guy I had specifically asked to be seated away from ever since he peed in a jar literally right next to me under our desk, acting like he was so cool for publicly exposing himself while simultaneously urinating. That's why I drew the pee jar. I remember now. For a second I was like, why did I draw it? I remember now. It happened weeks ago, and I still can't figure out what kind of crazy it takes you to do. Okay, and then it continues to talk about it, and I don't really want to read about it out loud because it's really weird. As I was off on a tangent in my own mind, I heard a familiar voice ring out, one that inspired the very same emotion you experience when you have a song you've forgotten you loved randomly plays in the background of your daily life. It says you should have VIP. Oh my goodness. Alright. Can I be paired up with James? Her voice was just as I remembered. Despite her having not spoken in class sometime, she hadn't changed a note. Abby had interrupted the teacher just to partner with me, but if I asked myself, it was really to work with me to get away from Jason. I forgot his name was James for a second. I was like, who's James? Who's James? And then I remembered. The teacher, looking irritated but understanding Abby's discomfort with Jason, responded, Alex and Jason, you'll be partners. James, switch seats with Jason. Thank you, Abby said with a slight smile. With a cocky grin, Jason stood up in a comedic fashion, he stood up and in a comedic fashion smelled his armpit. Wow, I didn't know I smelled that bad. No. I really hate this character. Jason said he's walked over to sit by Alex. Approaching Abby was no doubt in a way scarier act than my mind that had been everyone around me. I felt like my head was burning from the inside out. Jeez, that just frightened me. That just scared me. But yeah, there's a lot of parts I'll be skipping, Chad, just a heads up. I'm just gonna read a little bit of it. Just keep working. Okay, so starts beginning to read this. I scare you both in and out of phasmophobia. Yep, basically. Alright. Today you will both be taking something meaningful but expendable from your own homes. Miss Stanley looked up and emphasized that you own, then looked back down at her paper. You will tear those items apart here in class. You will then take those items and, using the adhesive, staples, and strings available in class, find a way to create something new out of those possessions. She looked up and said in a low voice sounding somewhat like Dracula, 2 will become 1. Jason raised his hand, objectifying. All due respect, Mrs. Stanley, I'm not breaking something of mine for this class, she replied, putting her hands on her hips. That's fine, Jason. We'll supply you with a toilet paper roll. We have plenty of extras around here. Mr. Holdy equals master of scaring people. Yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Ooh, Tetris. I just heard it in my headphone. I was like, ooh, Tetris. Tetris is fun. Alright. Next. Alrighty. Jason suddenly looked disturbed and sarcastically spouted, freaking great. Mrs. Stanley asked, are you sure? Your grain shouldn't suffer that much if you just take Alex's piss jar and tape it to a toilet paper roll. Oh no. The pee jar! You're already failing this class. Jason couldn't believe what she had just said, and Alex maintained an awkward, frozen facial expression, with his mouth slightly open in his normal, weirdo, somewhat robotic fashion. Oh jeez. Oh my god, Abby whispered under her breath with a slight smirk. And anyways, I'm just gonna skip all these parts that are just really weird. Because he quite literally says at one point about his borderline obsession with her. So I'm just gonna skip every part that says that. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip all that, because I'm still reading it. I just don't want to read it out loud, because it's weird. Mrs. Stanley continued, if there's anyone else who has an issue, please take it up with my 1800 number. Which is, she put her hand in the air, signaling the students to react, but only a couple kids replied out loud with her catchphrase, 1-800-boo-hoo. That is so cheesy. That is so cheesy. They mumbled. She continued, good. Now for the rest of class, please work with your partner on what you plan to bring and draw up a prototype sketch of what you feel your final piece of art will look like. Mrs. Stanley walked to the back of the room, sat down at her 1950s looking rusted and festive desk. I would always laugh internally when I looked at the old... That scared me again a little bit. As she looked at the old thing. Maybe it was my own way of coping with the fact that I attended one of the most rundown schools in the state. What are you going to bring, James? Abby asked. It was amazing to hear my name pass her lips. But anyways, I'm going to keep skipping those parts because they're really weird and creepy and I don't want to read about them. Alright. So he's like, oh, I have no idea, I responded. Smiling, she said, I'm gonna bring my hamster cage. I asked, did he die or something? She laughed. No, I never got one. The cage was a gift from my dad. Your dad didn't get you a hamster? For the cage? I asked. She paused and started to lose her smile. And he starts talking about weird stuff again. And just keeps talking about weird stuff. Because he's weird. Alright, then he continues to talk about more weird stuff. Because he's just really weird. Continuing on. Just skimming over everything weird that he says. Because he's weird. Alright. Oh, no, I wouldn't know about that, but I'm glad I made you laugh. You're more goofy than I thought, James. And then he continues talking about it. So then, as class came to a close, Abby patted me on my arm. I turned and she handed me a note. Instinctively, I put it in my pocket and it said, "See you tomorrow." She smiled and walked away. On my way to my next class, I opened the note. I didn't understand why, but it read, "Niceanin." Niceanin. Yep, Niceanin. That's exactly what it says, buddy. It says a nice one. Not knowing what to make of it, with little time, I stuffed it back in my pocket to look over later. Not feeling like skating home, I got in the bus to see all the normal rejects and misfits waiting. Davis, a short and scrawny kid who had been my best friend since middle school. Oh my goodness. And now it is in Spanish. Good job. Davis, a short and scrawny kid who had been my best friend since middle school, despite being one grade behind me, excitedly waved me over. "James, nice to see you," he said in seemingly the dorkiest way possible. I smiled as he stood up, giving me the window seat, knowing very well by then that I had preferred it. As I sat down, yawning. I'm not yawning, I promise. I was just told that Tropalona might get VIP. Tropalona. Oh my goodness. I sat down and began looking out the window, analyzing the little humans running left and right to get on their buses. Something reached out and caught the corner of my eye. Oh, then he starts talking about how he sees Abby with, this guy he knows, Seth, who she's dating. And he's like, "Oh, I feel so numb because I'll never be with her and I'm so lonely now. And oh no, it's so hard. It's so hard to be me." It's basically what he's saying. I looked down at my knees, feeling as if I lost all muscle control in my neck. "Are you okay?" Davis asked. I responded with hesitation. "I'm just stupid." "No, you're not. You're one of the coolest guys I know." Wow, how ironic that he relates his character himself, that he has people just going, "Wow, you're so great and amazing. We love you. You're great. I love you. I'm madly in love with you." Yeah, Davis. Alright. I continued my silence as he offered words of encouragement. "Okie dokie, well, you're awesome and you should be happy, so if you want to talk, I'm your buddy, so I'm right here to talk." I was too focused on the conflict raging in my mind to hear anyone at this point. I couldn't think about anything but Seth kissing Abby the entire trip home. See, he's obsessed. He is obsessed, and it's awful. That night, my mom was literally just serving lentil beans she prepared in her crock pot for the billionth time. A fair exaggeration, but still, it was excessive to say the least. My sister was behaving as she usually did at the dinner table, talking about how stupid she thought school was, and how she couldn't wait for college. "How was work, Mom?" I asked, trying to keep my mind off the haunting images looping in my mind. "Well, no one at work respects me or listens to me, and I generally can't stand it, but you know, we still have food on the table," she said in a stern tone. My sister barked as food flew out her mouth. "Well, at least not high school. I'm learning how to be a successful person for a bunch of low-income losers." My mom replied, "Whatever your teachers are, they have full-time jobs, which is more than a lot of people can say." My mom gave my sister Lisa a disappointed look. Lisa was well known for shouting little respect for hardworking people. To her, it didn't matter how much you gave back to society, it only mattered how much you make. Wow, he actually makes, like, genuine points sometimes, and, like, applause to him. Like, sometimes he actually makes, like, genuine points, but then other times he really doesn't make good points at all, and it's terrible. Okay, after the rerun of lentil soup, I washed the dishes per my mom's orders and headed to the shower. I sat on the floor of the tub thinking about Abby, so he starts thinking about her while he's in the shower, and he's just weird. And he finds the note. Yeah, he finds the note, and, he sees nice one on there. And, he's like, nicey one, but it's, N-I-S-E, like, N-I-S-E-O-N-E, so he's like, "What? I don't get it. Like, nicey, Nisei one? I don't get it." He's like, "What? I'm so quirky. I don't know what she's saying. This makes no sense to me. Oh, no, I'm so stupid." And then he finally figures out, and, alright. Okay, seconds looking at the note, my eyes had widened, having figured out what it meant. I jumped up sliding to my feet and screamed, yeah! I had cracked it, only to immediately after feel completely stupid for not having figured it out sooner. Yeah? A little stupid. My mom screamed through the door from her bedroom. What? I responded, sorry, nothing, and I hurried to finish showering. Staring at my phone, wearing only a towel, I smiled as I typed the nice one, or 6473663, which I guess is her phone number, which, that's so dumb. It's so dumb. Into the number keys. I assume we share the same area code, otherwise she likely would have given me a longer sequence of letters, or I was right. Alright, after 2 rings, I got an answer. Alright, oh, there's, yeah. Only a towel. Saucy. I'm gonna take a second. No. Not saucy at all. Exactly. Not saucy at all. I do need eye bleach as well. No. This is not to the book. It's just, no. Oh my god, wait, new emotes? I can make new emotes out of that. Anyways. So he calls her. And, okay. So he goes, oh, sorry. It's spicy, but not with this book. What do you want? A disgruntled man's voice asked, like a bad engine struggling to start in a monster movie. I clumsily belted out a response. I was looking for an unenthusiastic female voice in the background said, give me the phone. Whatever, he said, dropped the phone in front of her. Hello? I could recognize the voice now. It was Abby. Trying to hide my excitement by maintaining a normal tone, I said, this is James. Spossy. Spossy. Yep, Spossy. I said, this is James. Abby excitedly screamed and responded, oh my god, you figured it out. Hearing her optimistic tone, I laughed, saying, so why? She interrupted, I was hoping to find out if you figured out what you're bringing for the art class. I said, oh, and quickly looked around my room. I couldn't see anything immediately, so I just said, I'll surprise you. She then replied, oh, come on, tell me. My eyes locked onto a plausible item for the project. How about my bear? Oh, I'll bring my bear. I said. She replied, oh, okay. I have an idea. Instead of the cage, I'll bring in a stuffed animal of mine and we can make it like a zombified bear. I laughed. Awesome. I said, okay, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? She replied happily. I answered, okay. This feels like a really badly written fan fiction. Because there are very good written fan fictions. I'll say so myself. Applaud those people who can write like that. But this just feels really bad. It's like, she said this. I said this. We all just were, Just before she hung up, I could still hear her laughing, leaving me with a sense of accomplishment for the laughing smile if it were painted across my face. Again, they just met, so, like, she was just like, oh my god, he's amazing. Like, they just met, and he really only said, like, 3 things to her, and it's like, what? We made it to chapter 2. Wow, we're so close to being done. We still have all that to read. Will I probably finish it today? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do it. Because you know what? Nobody in the poll or nobody in the prediction has faith in me. So, I'm sad. Yeah, nobody in the prediction has faith in me. Makes me sad. Jeez, I really like half asleep though. That's great. Alright, so chapter 2. The following morning. Oh, I will end up, on my defense I voted yes. Aw, thank you. Just not finishing in this stream. Alright, one thing is, by the way, with this, I will actually, like, be skipping an entire chapter, because it's a trigger warning kind of thing, also, along with, TOS, and I don't really feel like reading that, so, you did not state this before predictions. It honestly will not affect how fast I read the book anyways. It's like really close to the end and it's not a long chapter and I'll still be going over basically everything that happens. I'm just not gonna read it because no. Alright. The following morning, Mr. Hanson approached me in the hall before class started. We're supposed to talk, he said in his usual stern voice. I responded, I know, but what about? He began gesturing with his hands, as often he did. I guess it was a habit he developed to trick people into believing he was saying something interesting. You know you're a smart kid, but you keep showing up late to my classes, and it's becoming a problem, he said. Surprised he showed genuine interest, I replied with a smirk. I'll do better in the future. He continued, alright, well, I also wanted to ask you about a TA opportunity. I replied, you don't have a teacher's assistant? I watched a bead of sweat fall down his balding forehead as he responded, the last TA moved, but yeah, you're not always on time, but you get your work done honestly and efficiently. Then why would you want him as a TA? It's like, so you suck at being a student, and you really don't do what you're supposed to do as a student, but I want you to teach other students. Like, what? Huh? Like, that doesn't make sense. What? That makes no sense. But anyways, I asked, okay, Mr. Hansen, next semester? He authoritatively replied, no, you can just take an elective class credit, and I'll let your current teacher know you'll be working with me from here on. I immediately thought of the possibility of losing art class and rejected the idea. My only elective is art class right now, and I don't want to give that up, I said. He took a step back looking offended and lost his temper. In a disgruntled tone, he said, Art class is a joke, James. That makes me angry. That makes me angry because art is not just a class. I love art. I have an itch. I got it. Alright. Is he? Did
you get a whopper?
Alright. Tell me one person you know who is making a living painting pictures. This book has angered me more now. I'm getting a job in art, so I guess I can't tell Onision that then. Izzy roasted me too hard. I'm sorry, Enola. Okay, all the students looked by in the hallway and stopped and looked towards the shouting. I looked at Mr. Hansen unaffected, reminding him that I would not give it up. I wasn't about to sacrifice the one class I had with Abby for alone time with a sweaty, angry, prone history teacher. That's weird. They just met. Why is he so in love with her? I hate this. I hate this. Ugh. Weird. Mr. Hansen looked at everyone stopped in the hall and screamed, oh, ha, ha, everyone looking at Mr. Hansen. He's such a goof. Move along, kids. Everyone just looked at him as he turned back to me, maintaining his clearly frustrated posture. He then waddled into his classroom with the remaining students, walked into his classroom to begin class. I reluctantly entered with the remaining students to sit at my desk, which was conveniently placed within a broomstick range of Mr. Hansen's desk. Ha, that's really convenient. Wow. So convenient. Ha ha ha, funny. After enduring another useless history lesson revolving around my home estate, Washington, it was finally time for art class. I walked as fast as I could without looking too awkward in my normal fashion, only to find Abby wasn't even in the room. Oh no! I sat down in my new seat and waited, only to see everyone but her fill the room. Mrs. Stanley closed the door to our class trailer and instructed us to begin dismembering the possessions we brought from home. I began cutting the bear with a scalpel Mrs. Stanley provided me with, but my muscles seemed to work on their own, as I found myself consumed with Abby again. Then he starts talking about Abby again. I'm not reading about that because I really don't want to read about that. Just a short while into the class, I found myself looking down at the bear, now cut into 6 pieces. I felt like I was in a science lab dissecting an actual animal. The most noticeable difference being that the cotton stuffing didn't look or stink of old flesh and death like real animals did. Wow, this dude, this character. Not the dude. Oh no, not the dude, because they're not the same people, guys. Remember, they're not the same person. Is messed up, man. Later that day during lunch, due to my mom not being able to afford me buying a cell phone, I used payphone to call Abby, but got no answer from her. I didn't feel like eating, so the rest of the lunch I sat on a bench outside, staring at people interacting with each other. I made a major effort distracting myself, knowing that focusing on what could be was mostly a waste, considering I was so powerless to influence any change at that point. Huh, yawning. I'm not gonna fall asleep. Even just watching the bushes move around in the wind made more sense to me than letting worry consume me. Later that night, I had just finished my shower, and I placed the one cordless phone we had in the house next to my bed on the windowsill. I would have dialed her, but I didn't want to call more than once a day for fearing of wearing out my welcome. That night, after a few different calls came in, but they were always from my sister Lisa. Her receiving a barrage of phone calls from random guys was nothing new to anyone in the house. Oh. That's very cool, Lisa. The normal conversation you could expect to have with Lisa take part in with excessive projection in her voice would always mostly revolve around how stupid she thought other girls at school were and how she hates basically everything about Lakewood High. That's fair. I hate basically everything about high school. I hate everything basically about high school, so fair. I didn't want to know what she was talking about ever, but my TV volume can compute with her voice. It was like she just thought she was so important. Everyone around her had to hear everything she had to say, no matter how trivial the topic. After a couple hours, she finally stopped running her mouth, so I turned off my TV, and with it, my room faded to darkness. I welcomed the silence like a warm blanket on a cold night. Oh, spooky. I woke up the next morning to see the phone sitting there, just like my stupid alarm clock. That scared me. Whopper. I expected it to sound off at some point, but like the clock failed to deliver. Ugh. It was raining outside. Clouds filled the sky in normal Lakewood fashion. I wasn't going to skate to school this time out of fear they would rust my skates and hinder my ability to skate fast, even if I could at all. Instead, I yawned. Wow. Instead, I decided to ride the bus, pretending for only moments I really had a choice. As I climbed up the bus steps, Davis rang out, "Hallelujah! James is here to save everyone from the evil clouds." I genuinely smiled for the first time that morning thanks to him. As usual, I sat next to the window seat that Davis courteously always offered me. Oh my goodness. Alright, dude, I forgot how much I hated this book. It's really not that great. Why did I really want to read this on stream? I don't know. I don't know. Alright, the beginning of history class was the same old story. As usual, I barely paid attention. Why am I yawning so much? And then he was talking about Jason. It's really weirdly talking about Jason. Jason began banging on the door, so Mr. Hanson walked over and opened the door and asked, "Why aren't you in your class?" Jason responded saying, "Got kicked out. What's up?" "Go stand outside your class till it's over." Why am I yawning so much? I am wide awake. Honestly, like I'm actually awake. Today, I am actually awake, and I'm just very tired still, I guess. Mr. Hanson commanded. Jason rebelliously replied, "Don't tell me what to do." I could see Mr. Hanson was about to lose it, so I interrupted. "No one wants you here, Jason." Oh. James getting a little savage here today. Manual restart, thanks. Why am I yawning so much? I am awake right now. Ha! We're gonna. Anyways. He seemed shocked that I would say anything on his behalf. Jason became extremely silent, now refusing to look anywhere but at me. His glare was intense, but it seemed so forced. Here comes the starfish. Hello, welcome. It seemed so forced, like he really wasn't offended, but didn't want to look too weak in front of everyone else. Mr. Hanson then closed the door, inches away from Jason's nose, but that didn't stop him from staring intensely through the vertical window slot in the door. Why am I yawning so much? Can I ask why I'm yawning so much? I'm just like yawning intensely. But like I'm awake, so I don't know why I'm yawning. What? Stop yawning! Alright. Where am I at? To return the operation. As the class came closer to an end, Jason was no longer staring at me and wasn't even visible from my perspective. No way, Jason. Somehow had something left to prove. Many students naturally assumed he was somewhere within the immediate vicinity. I could tell mostly everyone was concerned as they kept looking back at me, wondering what I was going to do about the clearly unstable and enraged jock that no doubt was still lurking just outside the door. Oh. Yeah, whatever works for you. Mods, what's easiest for you is fine. Mods, do what you have to do. That's all I ever say. Okay, every kid, okay, He knew that I wouldn't have his immediate problem had I accepted his offer to TA Frib. I'm yawning so much. I'm not even tired. I'm just like, what? Anyways. I'll think about it. Oh no. Alright, My decisions led me to this. I built a doorway to certain destruction and knew if I was going to be brave, I had to walk through it. I didn't have time to deal with hesitating once class was over. Seeing Abby was my real priority. I walked over to his class just like I normally did. This time, Jason was following close beside. I don't want to know. As most everyone assumed he was. I was about to leave the main building to head over to the art trailer, only to feel a hand grab my shoulder. The hand slipped as I pulled away, nails scraping along my skin to clamp my shirt. I was then yanked swiftly back from the main hall door. It began. Oh no, guys. It's so fun. Why am I yawning so much? I'm quite literally awake, so I don't understand why I'm yawning, Chad. Does anybody know what to do if you yawn too much? Why is Enola not being tolerated? What's going on? Chat, be nice. Chat, be nice. No being mean in chat. No being mean in chat. I prohibit it. Oh, wait. I'm gonna yawn again. Maybe if I just drink liquid, it'll help. Oh, that was my mic. Keep things friendly and in one language. Well said. Okay, so then they start talking about the fight. So they start punching each other and stuff, and then a window breaks. So getting bored by the book. Yeah, basically. Alright, so people begin to gather around us like a chemical reaction and begin screaming just as they did before. So he doesn't really remember anything happening in the fight. And he starts getting punched a bunch, and they keep laughing at him because he keeps getting punched. And yeah, basically he's getting his butt kicked. And it's really funny. He just like let him punch him a bunch, and he was not blocking the stuff. So as my nose began to bleed, one of the boys my sister was friends with, Matthew, grabbed me and pulled me out of the fight. He was twice my size, but he was also on Jason's football team, so naturally where's it at? So naturally, he did nothing to help me win. The only thing he offered me was an end to the beating I was suffering. Shortly after the fight ended, I found myself sitting on a mattress in the nurse's office, not allowed to leave, not allowed to do anything but think about what happened. Despite everything in my head feeling scrambled and disorganized, there was Abby waiting in the same place, just as she sat at the back of my class. And he's thinking about her again. He needs to stop thinking about her, man. She's probably not thinking about him. Are you gonna read that book from start to end on stream? That's my plan. My plan is to read it from start to end on stream, so it's not too long of a book. Alright. As lunch approached, Principal Lehman came into the room I was staying in at the nurse's office and asked me how I was feeling. I responded, well, my tooth is chipped, my chin hurts, my face is bruised, and I just got humiliated in front of my peers. Mr. Lehman said, I've gotten multiple statements saying you pushed him. What's your response? Yes, because that's what a principal says first. I replied, I pushed him back after he pushed me first. I pushed him back after he pushed me. Yep. He pushed me, so I pushed him. What are we, in kindergarten? Another level of 24-hour stream. Honestly, I hope not. I genuinely hope not, but all I did was push him back once, and then he did this to my face. I made a circular motion around my face, showing it how one side of the fight way. Principal Lehman said in a commanding voice, well, he's suspended for 10 days. He paused, and I felt relief, assuming the principal was on my side, but then he continued, you will be suspended for 2 days. How does that work? Why would he be suspended? He didn't get a Whopper, that's why he's suspended. That's exactly why he's suspended, because he didn't get a Whopper. Yep. What was I supposed to do? Oh, wait, no. I was surprised that they wouldn't suspend somebody just for pushing back when they are pushed. What was I supposed to do? Just ignore being assaulted? If school was meant to teach us how to survive in the real world, and the real world is you are legally allowed to defend yourself, how can they justify punishment? Principal Lehman informed me that I could finish the day up and not return the following 2 days. You should at least be grateful for that. Jason was escorted off school grounds entirely. I'm going on talking riot. Wappa. Still not sure how I feel on the Whopper. You know what? I don't either, but it's fine because Jack Manifold still doesn't know about it, so everything's better. The day that Jack Manifold finds out and comes and sees this, which I hope is never, I will delete it because I'm that terrified. Principal Lehman stared at me sitting there, helpless and about to break down. Wait, what? Why was he staring at him helpless and about to break down if he's the one who was suspending him? Okay, then see you again in a few days, he said, and quickly walked off. All I could focus on feeling in that moment was the tacky ice pack on my face and a sinking feeling of worthlessness. If he ever comes to see, I'll be sure to spam it. No. It's not something I like to admit, but the truth is I cried seconds after Principal Lehman left the room. The type of cry you suppress but your eyes still get red from, your body trembles and painfully hot tears still fall. It was the type of sadness that I could have met Jack Manifold today if I went to the ven. It's okay. I'm sorry you didn't get to meet Jack. It was a type of sadness that makes a person ache to their core, but you do your best to hold on, not lose yourself to your emotions like you would so carelessly do as a child. I sat in the room alone until I could collect myself. Shortly after, I gathered myself and proceeded to finishing my class. I just asked a couple teachers on my behalf or about any work that I would miss so I could keep up while I was suspended, but didn't have the motivation to stop by every single class before leaving the school entirely. As I was about to get on the bus home, I looked over to see Abby again in the parking lot with her boyfriend Seth. They were standing by his car. This time they were not showing affection. In fact, she seemed like she wasn't even willing to look at him, despite him clearly and aggressively speaking to her. Without a second thought, I shifted away from the bus and began walking over to Abby to see if she was okay. The more I could hear Seth's tone approach, the more worried I became. So basically, he gets really mad, and I'm not reading this part out loud, but he gets really mad, and Seth becomes really intimidating, and Abby looks really upset. So he's kind of just like, what's going on here? Like Onision, oh sorry, James, whatever his name is, but totally not Onision. Yeah, totally not Onision. Totally not. No, that's not who it is, and I keep just like getting really uncomfortable when I'm sitting, so it's kind of annoying. There we go. Not within the speaking range. Fair speaking range, I try to sound optimistic for the sake of Abby's emotional state. I just realized I'm saying Abby, and this whole time I kept thinking of Abby, Best Mod Abby. I'm so glad this book is not about Best Mod Abby, or I'd be even more mad. Hey Abby, were you at art class today? I asked. Her boyfriend stepped in front of her to block my view. Are you the kid who called her the other night? I responded, yeah, just ignore him, James. Do I clip that and send that to Magic? What? Abby, our beloved. Yes, Abby, our beloved. I love Abby so much. Yeah, just ignore him, James. Seth looked as if an arrow had been plunged into his chest. Abby then walked. Jack Manifold? Oh, I thought Jack Manifold went live. Meeting Jack Manifold is never a bad thing, you know? I want to meet Jack Manifold so bad. I just don't want him to know the fact that I use "Did you get a Whoppa" on my streams consistently. Like, that terrifies me. Like that. Imagine he walks in and sees that. Okay, so then Abby realized that he got beat up, and they start making fun of him and doing all this kind of stuff. And they start yelling at each other. And then, they keep yelling at each other. And it gets real bad. And then, Seth kind of goes sicko mode and gets really angry and does some stuff. And then he leaves. And Abby's, like, hiding behind James. So then she's still hiding. And, James is like, oh, I'll walk you home to answer your question. Abby opened her eyes but remained silent. She nodded. And yes, the sound is 1 point because it makes it even funnier. We'd been walking for a while, every step making us feel like slightly further from our problems. She finally spoke. So I was in art class and I saw your cut up bear. I responded, yeah, creepy mite. Creepy, right? Maybe it was a Fuber idea. I don't know what that means. But anyways, she laughed a little. Yeah, I guess we're both kind of weird. I was all game for it. And my mission for the end of the year is to be friends with Josh Manifold. Honestly, that's iconic. I believe in you. Very much. out of stock. No. I think it refreshes every minute. Alright, so then it starts raining, and then they start talking about, what happened to Onision. Sorry, what happened to James? She stared at her feet as we continued to walk. I noticed her makeup was running. Shortly after she noticed, too, she began rushing us home. Walking faster, she said, I'm sorry, I really don't want you to see me like this. Ow. My head hurts. Really bad. Ow. Jeez, that is not getting any better. It just looks nasty. I thought I glitched it. Oh, no. Alright, she continued to rush slightly ahead of me, and I stopped walking, and she said, hey! Hey. She slowed down and stopped and still facing away from me. You need to stop running into doors, and you will have a painful head. I didn't run into a door! The only reason I have the slight cooldown is because I didn't want it spammed so I could actually still stream normally, but not out hearing Whopper every 5 seconds. We stood in the rain for only a few seconds before she asked, do you really think makeup helps anyone? I replied, still looking at her back. I think it helps us forget what we don't want to remember. It lets us pretend we're a little more perfect than we really are. She laughed sadly and said, that's one way to put it. I smiled and replied, no, the thing is, we do want to spam. No, I'm restraining you. I smiled and replied, yes, thank you, Ezzy. Makeup is just makeup and skin is just skin. It is what it is. Wow, it's so inspirational. Wow. Abby looked up at the rain for a moment and then down at the ground again. She then turned around with her rain-soaked face, revealing what she was hiding in her makeup. You know what she was hiding. Abby had bruises. And she starts talking about him. And he kind of starts flirting with her. And it's real weird. Like, it's kind of like, please don't flirt with her right now. That's kind of weird, man. And then he walks her to her doorstep and it's like, I'm just 7 letters away. If you need to call me. If you need to call me and you need anything, let me know, okay? See you tomorrow, she asked. I replied, I got suspended for 2 days. She looked offended. I'm offended because I'm yawning. Wow, punishing the guy who got beat up. Classy. I responded, yeah, well, I pushed him back. She replied, clearly not hard enough. That would be the right type of hell. No. I refuse. I laughed. She laughed sadly, looking down as she unexpectedly wrapped her arms around me. Oh, she hugged him now. And then, he's, like, really happy and stuff. And he's like, with my bruises and all from my battle I went through, it's okay because the girl of my life hugged me. And I didn't acknowledge at all that something really bad was going on with her. I just let it happen. And now we're on to chapter 3. Briefly after I fell asleep that night, I had a dream about Abby, and it was the first dream I experienced in some time. I'm not gonna read this chapter, I'm just gonna sum it up for you guys, because it's kind of weird. So he starts talking about how, like, dreams feel, and he's like, it's kind of just like he's a helpless specter in his own mind, and that, like, life's going weird and all that. I would deactivate my account if that happened. Oh no. Alright. So basically he like sees her in like a field of grass and she's like humming and she's like really happy and all this stuff. And then she starts screaming. And there's no reason why she's just screaming. And I guess like the dream just gets like real dark and like it's whoa. Oh, hello! Welcome, Trey. Happy to be here. I'll be in lurk mode since I'm at work. Perfectly fine. Thank you for showing up. We are reading a really dumb book right now and kind of just chilling. So yeah, that's about it. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping in. Oh, what's the emote? Alright, so basically they talk out the dream and it's a really messed up dream. It's like, ooh. And then there's like giant canyon fills and then people just fall into the canyon. So basically it's a real whack dream where a bunch of people die. Yay. So then he's like, wow, that was such a weird dream. So scary. I don't know what it means. And then he's just like, not having to go to school that day due to my suspension, I decided to write a letter to Abby. It read, and then he writes about how he's madly in love with her. And I don't want to read that out loud either because it's really weird. Yeah, he starts talking about how he's like madly in love with her. I'm just like, dude, you literally have just met her. Please. Yeah, and then he's like, the feelings are also strange and evolving at a rate that scares me, as they are for someone I am only just truly just getting to know. At least he has some common sense there, saying like, I don't understand these feelings, but they're so intense. Enola is gone. Bye, Enola. Enola is missed. Even with my brief presence in your life, I picked up on so much suffering. And he talked about all of this, and he keeps continuing to talk about her, and it's real weird. And he's like, I just want to be there. I sent the letter to her email address. Moments later, the phone rang. Answering the phone, I heard Abby's voice on the other end. Hey, can you meet me at the quick shop, she asked. I responded, did you see my email? Thanks, Izzy. Thanks, Izzy. Wappa from Mr. Oldie. Yes, Wappa. That's how we just summoned Mr. Oldie into the chat, and I was just, did you get a Wappa? Nope, why did you just call? I said, it would have been really hard to say over the phone. I had to find the words. I have been summoned. She said, okay, I'll look and then I'll head over. I then confirmed. Sure, see you there. Is that not weird? Just be like, I confirmed. Okay, see you there. Like, it's just such a badly written. Shortly after, I got dressed and skated over to meet her. I arrived quickly, thanks to what seemed to be a record speed for me. However, once I arrived, I found myself waiting for someone who now had no intention of meeting me. I could only assume I had just made her look like a huge jerk to her. I attempted to call her from the nearby payphone, and she didn't answer. It's because she read the email, stupid. You think she wants to meet you now? She was kind of just looking for a friend, and you were just like, I'm madly in love with you, and I want to get married. Like, you think she's going to meet you now? No, she's not going to meet you now. What do you expect her to go and be like, I got your email. I'm madly in love with you, too, even though we just met, and I'm in a really awful relationship right now. I'm madly in love with you. Let's run away together. Like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. We all know that's not gonna happen, so no. Alright, as I skated home in my mind, I went through the letter I wrote over and over. I began to blame myself, concluding based on her absence that I must have dug too deep too fast. No, really, stupid. And then he started thinking about the dream again. I felt like I just finally connect with someone, not only to ruin everything at the last minute. Yeah, maybe you should have just not been like, I'm madly in love with you, when she's like going through a bunch of stuff, when you literally just found out that she has bruises all over her face from stuff that we can guess happened, and I know what happened, so, but as new readers, people can, yeah, basically. We are now in chapter 4. How many chapters are in this book? I forget. Oh, there's so many. Oh, there's so many chapters in this book. I forgot about how many chapters there are in this book. Oh, and I have work tomorrow. Oh. We'll see how far we can get before I really just give up. But I really don't want to give up, because then all those people in the prediction are going to be like, My suspension had been lifted and I had arrived back at Lakewood. Approaching my history class, I could hear people snickering as they watched me walk by. Someone screamed, "Wuss, learn how to fight," behind me. But I just kept walking. Yeah, haha, he learned totally how to fight and he got suspended because he, like, let him beat him up. Wow, yeah, people are funny. As I sat down in class, Mr. Hanson walked up to me. He placed his hands on my shoulder and spoke under his breath so others would not hear. "Don't worry about the work you missed. Okay, James?" I looked up at him and he gave me a slight smile. I suppose it's because he felt bad that I was beaten up shortly after trying to get Jason to leave the class alone. It was a lucky break, too, considering Mr. Hanson's class was one of the few I didn't stop by to see what work I would miss before beginning my suspension. Oopie. I approached the art trailer feeling panicked over what to expect. I hated that I said anything to Abby, that I overstepped my bounds and acted like I knew her when I only was going off my own dream-influenced emotional intuition. I felt a conflicted hatred towards myself for jeopardizing a relationship with someone that was so important to me. If she did give up on me, I can only blame myself. Dude, this girl is in a relationship, first of all. That's where you need to stop. Because she's literally in a relationship. It may not be great, but she's in a relationship and he's like, "Oh, I ruined this relationship." And I'm like, there never was one, because she's in one. Like, what? Dude. Dude. Alright. Opening the door, I could see Abby wasn't inside. Inside, there were just pieces of my bear sewn to pieces of her bear sitting on the desk. Maybe I was reading too far into what it meant. I could really only hope that there was something left that of us like sew back together. Oh my god, it's so dumb! It's so dumb! It's so stupid. I should just sew us back together. No. We're not, no. We're not sewing back together anything. I'm gonna tell you that now. I really wish she would just, like, leave him. But, she could do so much better. But I won't question book characters, so. Walking closer, I could see something sticking out just beneath the bear. It was a note that read, James, meet me behind the church when you get this. Immediately, I thought of the church neighboring Lakewood High. I stuffed my backpack inside the desk and quickly made my way off campus to meet Abby. I love that he just left. He was just like, okay, I'm just gonna leave now. Uh-oh. Is my stream lagging? Hello? Stream? What is going on? 1 second. There's lag. Why is there just sudden lag? What's going on? What is going on here? Oh. 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 What's going on? Yeah, why is there lag? Yeah, why is there just like a spike in lag? What just happened, man? Wait a minute. It just keeps going up, man. Alrighty. Lag, I guess. Yeah, there's so much lag, and I don't know why it keeps going up, so, I guess the predictions are correct. Yeah, I guess the predictions are correct, because my stream's about to crash for no reason. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. They just keep going up. Alrighty. I guess we just have to end the prediction then, because the stream decided to lag out for no reason. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Alright. I still hear me umming. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, chat. I hear me umming too in the screen, so uh-oh. I can't even type. Why can't I chat? Here. We'll just choose the outcome. The lag is stopping a bit. It keeps going up for me though. Like, it keeps going. That's alright. It's fine. I will deal with it later. I'll have to figure out the lag later. I see all the lag. I know that the sound is okay, but there's just an immediate just source of lag. So I'm not sure if something happened or if Twitch is just being a jerk. Oh, rip. Why did that happen? I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but my lag is just skyrocketing. So we're just gonna end, I guess, because the stream hates me. So I'm gonna send you somewhere. I'm just gonna send you over to Minx. Why not? I love Minx, so we'll send you to Minx. Because my computer doesn't know how to handle itself, so I guess thank you for an amazing stream. Much waves, big waves. Don't know what's wrong with the lag. I'll pop into my Discord and let you know if I can figure it out. So yeah, I guess see you guys. Bye!
Did you get a whopper?
I did not. Bye-bye.